Hi, I'm Rachel from Creative Classics, and I'm going to be talking about drawer glides today. So there's several different types, or really two different kinds, wood glides and metal glides. And then within those two kinds, there's several different types. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the most simple. It's one of the wood-on-wood versions, and it's called frame-on-frame construction. And essentially, there really are no glides. The drawer just rests on the frame of the piece. And it's really very simple. It's fairly low on labor because you're not doing anything extra. And there is no extra cost involved because you don't have to buy glides that you're installing. So it is often a favorite of individual artisans because they can use material they have on hand. It's nothing really complicated. That doesn't mean that it's not good. It is a very nice way of doing things. It's the way a lot of antiques are done. But basically, it's just sliding against this drawer. And so there is more friction than if you have a very easy to slide metal glide, and it can, with winter and summer, have some expansion and contraction with the wood that can make it a little difficult to pull the drawer in and out. You can wax the inside of the cabinet as well as the drawer itself to help keep it easier. And another thing with antiques is often there are no stops installed, so there's nothing to prevent the drawer from coming out, which can be very annoying. However, with individual artisans today, they usually have something like this very simple toggle system that keeps the drawer from coming out. One thing that I am not a big fan of with these is the more the drawer comes out, the more it slants down. And even though there are stops installed, it is just a little bit unwieldy, I think, and if you have heavier items in here, it just makes me a little nervous. I don't mind it for dining room furniture, but for me, using it every day in a bedroom, it just is not quite as convenient as what I would like to have. But it's still a very good, simple glide system. So another type of glide system we're going to talk about is a center glide system, and center glides can be made out of either wood or metal. This particular one is wood, and you're going to see wood-on-wood center glides typically in antiques. Basically, it's like you would think that the name implies. There's a center glide. It's a piece of wood. It's mounted in the center of the frame, and it has a little bit of shape to it, and there's this corresponding channel in the drawer which fits around the little framing in the piece itself. And it can sometimes be hard to get back in, which is why I'm not a big fan of it. But it's not bad at all. There's a lot of antiques are made this way. And a lot of nice solid wood furniture that you see is made this way. Again, you can make it from scrap material you have on hand. It's a little bit more labor than your frame-on-frame construction that we were talking about, but there's no real additional parts to buy. Just like the wood-on-wood, expansion and contraction of the drawers can affect the smoothness of the glides. Again, they can be waxed. Frequently, such as in antiques, there are no stops, which again can be dangerous if you don't watch what you're doing. More modern pieces will sometimes have a little plastic stop mounted in the channel, and it takes actually some struggle, but you can pull and eventually get the drawer out. So the last wood-on-wood glide system I'm going to talk about is the side-mounted system. And the nice thing about a side-mounted system is it's very stable. You're going to have less wiggle in the drawer. As you pull the drawer out, you're going to have less tilt as the drawer is pulled to its full extension. And it basically works like the center glide concept in that mounted inside the frame are two pieces of wood which are made to slide into the slots on either side of the drawer. It does have a stop to prevent it from coming out, but there is a way to remove the stop if you want to remove the drawers. Actually not remove them, but unlock them, I should say. And you do this with a very technical tool, your average number 2 pencil. You just flip the little toggle down and the drawer comes out. So the nice thing about these wood-on-wood side-mounted glide system from Copeland Furniture is that these glides are actually adjustable. So when the drawers get a little stiff, which is possible due to expansion and contraction, there's actually a spring and screw system here that allows you to use just a regular Phillips head screwdriver and simply turn it clockwise or counterclockwise to either push the glide in or pull it out further, also to raise it a little up and down, depending on how your drawer needs to be adjusted. So next we're going to talk about metal glide systems. And just like with the wood glides, there is a center mount metal glide system. I don't actually have an example of one. I'm not a big fan of them. Unlike when you have the wood that is mounted in the center and the drawer is attached to it, which is fairly strong even though there's some wiggle room to it. With the metal, I just feel like it's going to be a point of weakness, that over time you can get it out of alignment more easily, because anytime something is only anchored in the center, you're going to get more wiggle in a drawer. So I don't have anything to show you, but I would say that I just in general would avoid those. But there are also two other types, side glides and undermount dual glides. And this is a side mount. Side mounts will give you, again, a more stable drawer because it's mounted either side, not just in the center. And it's often used in file cabinets and other office furniture. One of the reasons being it does have a very nice heavy load capacity, and also many of them have the ability to have sort of a non-tip feature, so that when you have this heavily loaded with files, if you were to open both drawers at the same time, the piece might tip. So this only allows you to open one drawer at a time. What I don't like about this in a bedroom setting is two things. One is just visual. I think when you, particularly in a bedroom, it's something you use every day, you know, your master suite is a more elegant part of your home. When you invest in nice hardwood furniture and you have the nice solid wood drawer box, I just think seeing the glide, it's just not as attractive. The other thing I'm concerned about with the side glide for bedroom is that you could catch your clothes on it and maybe rip them. So while I don't mind it for office furniture, because it is sturdy, it does have a smooth operation that people like, I just really prefer the undermount that's hidden. So by far the metal glide that I prefer is the dual undermount glide system. The glide is mounted on each side of the drawer here underneath. And it has a really nice smooth operation, not a lot of wiggle. It's very strong. It has a very high load capacity. It really has a silky smooth operation. And what I like about it best is there is no glide showing. So there's nothing to mar the beauty of your solid wood drawer box, nothing to catch your clothes. And with an easy push, it closes itself.